as U.S. Congressmen Riley Moore and Chris Smith have proposed the Nigeria Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2026, recommending targeted sanctions, asset freezes, and visa bans against former presidential candidate Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, Mieti Allah Kautal Hore, and what they describe as Fulani ethnic nomad militia. The bill alleges that the named individuals and groups are responsible for severe religious freedom violations. Shared by Moore on X earlier today, the document outlines statistics and historical accounts of attacks on Christians and on Muslims who advocate religious tolerance. It cites a lack of prosecutions or convictions of jihadist actors, characterizes this as a failure of the Nigerian government, and calls for coordinated support from France, the UK, and Hungary. The report also urges investigation into cases where non-Muslims are allegedly subjected to Sharia or blasphemy laws, and makes reference to victims including Rhoda Jatau and Deborah Yakubu. Now let's take a look at some tweets coming from the United States X space. Sean Nelson said the powerhouse team of Rep. Chris Smith and Rep. Riley Moore today introduced a new bill on religious freedom in Nigeria, increasing accountability measures, including recommendations for sanctions against Fulani militia and former Kano State Governor Kwankwaso, who introduced Sharia criminal law there. Nakabulu responded and said, well, how much were you paid to target and tarnish Kwankwaso's image? Zamfara State introduced Sharia first in Nigeria as part of their right because it's in the constitution of Nigeria. Christians are safer in Kano State than virtually Christian-dominated states in Nigeria. Well, of course, what we do know is that the first governor to introduce and implement Sharia law was Governor Ahmed Sani Yerima of Zamfara State in January of 2000, with other states following after that. Well, could this be a case of mistaken identity? Although we know that the bill itself, the proposed bill itself, doesn't make reference to Kwankwaso implementing Sharia law, but the commentary around it alludes to that. So it's a very huge development, because there have been several threats about naming people and outing people. And I think, I'm not sure whether people would be surprised that the first name on that list would belong to Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Dr. Abati, I'll come to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the United States has been interested under President Trump, either in his first term or now the second term, in religious persecution in Nigeria. Ditto, the Department of State of the United States, also the Department of Justice, and also now you have the African Command being involved, with President Donald Trump carrying the flag and saying there is religious persecution in Nigeria. The federal government of Nigeria has made considerable effort in that direction to say that Nigeria is a secular country.
A storm of controversy has erupted around one of Nigeria's most influential political figures, Senator Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso, following allegations linked to terrorism raised in American legal and security circles. The story did not begin with a direct charge or conviction. Instead, it emerged from court filings and intelligence-related claims in the United States, where certain individuals alleged that Senator Kwankwaso had connections to figures associated with extremist groups in Nigeria. These accusations quickly spread across social media and news platforms, igniting intense public debate. Supporters of Kwankwaso insist that the allegations are politically motivated and completely false. They argue that the senator has a long public record of governance, education reforms, and political activism, especially in Kano State, and that no court in Nigeria or the United States has found him guilty of terrorism-related crimes. On the other side, critics say the allegations must be taken seriously, especially at a time when Nigeria continues to battle terrorism and insecurity. They argue that any public official mentioned in such reports should be thoroughly investigated to protect national credibility and international trust. What makes this story powerful is not just the accusation itself, but what it represents. It highlights how fragile reputations can become in the digital age. A single legal document or intelligence claim can travel across continents in minutes, shaping public opinion long before facts are fully established. Kwankwaso has consistently denied the allegations, calling them baseless and defamatory. His camp maintains that there is no evidence linking him to terrorism and that the claims are part of a smear campaign designed to weaken his political influence ahead of future elections. This controversy also exposes a deeper issue: the intersection of global security politics and local Nigerian power struggles. When foreign courts or agencies mention Nigerian politicians, it immediately creates suspicion, even when no formal charges exist. For many citizens, the question becomes, is this justice or is this geopolitics? As of today, there has been no official conviction or legal judgment declaring Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso a terrorist sponsor or collaborator. The matter remains an allegation, not a proven crime. And so the story stands at a crossroads between accusation and evidence, between rumor and truth. It reminds us of a crucial lesson. In an age of information warfare, allegations can be louder than facts, and silence can be mistaken for guilt. The real test now lies in transparency, due process, and the rule of law. Only through verified investigation and clear judicial outcomes can the truth be separated from political noise. Until then, the Kwankwaso terrorism allegation remains a story not of proven guilt, but of how power, politics, and perception collide on the global stage